Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brewster Tizzy here, and I'm finally back on YouTube doing videos here. I haven't done a YouTube video, I think, like, in over a year, but anyways, Madden 20 just came out here for EA Access, and I want to start a new franchise series, and for this series, we are going to be doing the Washington Redskins for this franchise, so it should be interesting. As you can see here, their top players are Trent Williams, Ryan Kerrigan, and newly acquired Landon Collins. And if you're familiar with the new changes in Madden 20, you can see they're both superstar players, so we'll have a fun time with some of their abilities. But the Redskins are a 75 overall. So for this franchise, I'm just going to be the current head coach of the Redskins, Jay Gruden, who's the brother of John Gruden. And here are the settings for the franchise. I'm going to be playing on all Madden, and I'm going to have the game style on Sim. I like Sim a lot more for franchises. I feel like it's a lot more realistic, and it feels a lot better than competitive, and obviously arcade is just way too arcade-ish. But anyways, simulation I'm going to be playing on, and as you can see, I'm going to have superstar abilities on as well, pre-existing injuries. And also, I'm going to have it on 8-minute quarters with Excel clock. I might tweak around with the time of the quarters and stuff. I'm not so sure how long or short the videos or gameplay will be. So, I might change it, but right now I'm just going to keep it on 8 minutes. So yeah, with all that stuff out of the way, let's get into the franchise. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the team and the roster and kind of just go through the lineup and see what the Redskins are all about. Alrighty, so taking a look at the Redskins offense here, we'll start off with the QB. Case Keenum is a 73 overall, and he'll be our starting QB at the beginning of the year since Alex Smith is injured. I don't know why. I have pre-existing injuries on, but apparently he's not injured, so I'm just gonna have to bench him the whole entire year. Hopefully nothing happens with his morale. But Case Keenum here, 73 overall, and looking at his stats, they're nothing great, just like mediocre. He has just well-rounded stats at everything, nothing special. So yeah, hopefully Case Keenum doesn't suck that badly. I plan on starting him for the first couple of weeks and see how it goes, because I kind of want to treat this like realistically, because the Redskins won't be starting DWAYNE Haskins here, which is a 72 overall. But if Case Keenum does get injured, or if he's playing terribly and we just like are losing game after game, I am going to throw DWAYNE Haskins in. As you can see, he's a 72 overall, has a big arm with 89 throw power. Obviously, the Redskins got a pretty big steal in the middle of the first round, with DWAYNE Haskins slipping all the way down to him. So it should be fun once we get to use him, and he has a hidden development trait, so we'll see if he might be a superstar or maybe even an X Factor, but I'm assuming he'll be like star development trait. And then going on to the running back position, the Redskins are pretty deep here with Adrian Peterson. He's an 83 overall, and obviously getting up there in age at 34 years old. But still, Adrian Peterson, very good in Madden, as you can see by his stats. He has 90 speed, 87 trucking. We also have Chris Thompson here, who is a very good receiving back, and as you can see, he has star development. Kind of surprised by that, but 79 overall. He will be our third down back and our receiving back in like shotgun formation. And then we also have DERRIUS, GUICE, who was a very talented running back coming into the draft, tore his ACL last year, so still's yet to play in a regular season game, but as you can see, he has star development, and he's a 78 overall, and like Adrian Peterson, a very well-rounded back. So it's going to be kind of tough bouncing all these backs with carries and feeding them and stuff, and obviously they have Samaje Perine as well too, so. But like in real life, Adrian Peterson will most likely be starting at the beginning of the year, so DERRIUS, GUICE, I'm going to try to work in as we go along in the season, give him more of a workload. Then onto the wide receiving core here for the Redskins. Not much of a wide receiving core, as you can see. Paul Richardson is their #1 wide receiver at 81 overall, as they signed him last year from the Seahawks. Has some good speed to him, good route running, decent catching and stuff, so he's a decent wide receiver, nothing great. And then we have Josh Doxson here, who was a former first-round pick. Hasn't really materialized into anything of a wide receiver yet in the NFL, but As you can see, his stats are decent enough. Hopefully we can try progress him and make him into something. And looking at the rest of the wide receiving core here, we have 70 overall Trey Quinn as our number 3 wide receiver. He'll also be our slot wide receiver for the year. So, I mean, even though he's low overall, he should be able to be a good or decent slot wide receiver. And we also do have Terry McLaurin, who's a rookie out of Ohio State. So, one of Dwayne Haskins' former teammates in Ohio State. But as you can see, he's a 70 overall. And he has some decent speed to him as well with 93 speed. So we'll hopefully can try to get him into some formations and sub packages. And we also do have Brian Quick and KELVIN Harmon on the team, who's another rookie. And kind of surprised he slipped a lot. I know he was projected to go like pretty high rounds, but he somehow slipped down into the later rounds of the draft. So hopefully we can try to develop him. He's not much of a speedster, but he has great hands. So we'll see how he does in the preseason. And then looking at the Redskins O-line here, we have obviously Trent Williams, 95 overall, one of the best left tackles all in football. So here he has a superstar development trait. He also has great stats, as you can see here. The one thing I'm gonna have to do and look out in real life, it was just announced a couple days ago that Trent Williams is demanding a trade from Washington. So I'm not so sure how that whole entire situation will fold out, and it'll be interesting to watch. I don't know if he does get traded in real life. I will obviously try to trade him in Madden and kind of simulate that trade. But for right now, I'm just going to start him because he's like the best player on the Redskins. But looking at the rest of the offensive line, we have Ereck Flowers, one of the worst offensive linemen last year. He signed with the Redskins this offseason at 65 overall. His stats are absolutely terrible, as you can see. And we also have a 75 overall center, but at right guard, we have one of the best right guards in the game at Brandon Sheriff. He's an 87 overall. He's only 27 years old, and he has star dev, so hopefully can develop a little bit here. And we also have 75 overall Morgan Moses. And then looking at tight end, obviously Jordan Reed, one of the better tight ends in the NFL. Unfortunately, he's just been plagued by injuries his whole entire career, really. But at an 88 overall, he has great stats, except run blocking is quite low. But great speed, great agility, good catching. And backing up Jordan Reed, we have 81 overall Vernon Davis for our backup tight end. And he's really old, as you can see, 35 years old, but he still has great speed with him and good hands at 86 speed and 86 catching. And then on to the Redskins defense here. Their whole entire front seven is very good. Starting off with Ryan Kerrigan, one of the more underrated pass rushers in the NFL at an 87 overall, has superstar abilities, has very good pass rushing stats, 88 power move, 82 finesse, and 80 block shed. And he's just an all-around very good pass rusher. So Ryan Kerrigan will be very good for us in our pass rushing. And on the other side, we have rookie Montez Sweat, who was a first-round pick. But as you can see, he's a freak of nature with 91 speed. So he's very, very fast, very agile. He has 93 acceleration. Gonna need to work on some of his pass rushing stats, especially that power move at 65. And looking at the front of the D-line here, we have Jonathan Allen, 82 overall. He has star dev, and he has great stats all around here, as you can see. Good pass rusher and good run stuffer. And everyone on this D-line is very good and young, including Deron Payne, who will be our D-tackle. He's only 22 years old, already at 83, almost an 84. He has star dev as well, and he has great speed to him at 76 speed. Just has really low finesse move, but all around very good stats with him, especially with strength. And we also have Matt Ioannidis here, who's another young defensive end with star development here, 83 overall, and looking at stats, pretty good. The only problem with the Redskins front seven, though, is their middle linebacking core. Reuben Foster would be here, but he tore his ACL in practice a month ago, so we will not be playing with him at all this year. So we have Sean Dion Hamilton at 70 overall, and we also have John Bostic. Nothing much to them, except Sean Dion Hamilton is a slightly nice young middle linebacker here from Alabama. He already has an upgrade point, so he should be in 71 overall once we upgrade him. But looking at his stats, he has good hit power, good speed, and nothing else really. Then on to the secondary here, we have MONTAE Nicholson. He's a 71 overall free safety. Doesn't have good stats, but he is 23 years old and has normal dev, so he'll slightly upgrade a little bit. And looking at the Redskins, big signing from free agency here. Landon Collins at an 83 overall, signed with the Redskins in free agency this offseason, and as you can see, he has superstar ability right now, so that's really good. He's only 25 years old, so he'll still be able to develop quite fast here. And looking at stats, he has great stats, 88 speed, good tackling, great hit power. He has good coverage stats as well, so Landon Collins will be really fun to be using back there in the secondary. And looking at the corners now, we have Josh Norman, who's fallen off quite a bit. He's an 81 overall, doesn't have star development traits, but still a good corner. 81 overall, it has 87 speed, 85 zone, so he has decent stats. And opposite Josh Norman, we have Dominique RODGERS-CROMARTIE, who is old, but he has always great stats in Madden, as you can see here. Still has 92 speed, has decent zone and man coverage, so he should be a decent corner opposite Norman. And in our nickel corner here, we have QUINTON DUNBAR. He's a 77 overall, doesn't have great coverage stats, but he has good athleticism with 91 speed at least. We also have FABIAN MOREAU here. He's our fourth corner. He's a 73 overall. Doesn't have good coverage stats like QUINTON DUNBAR, but has very good athleticism with 94 speed and 93 acceleration. Also has good agility, so he's only 25 years old, so hopefully we can get those coverage stats up with him. And another young player I want to highlight real quick is BRYCE Love, who was one of the better running backs in college the last few years. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL in December, so I won't be playing him much this year to kind of simulate in real life, because he won't be playing most of the season. Maybe he'll play like in a few games late in the year, but just looking at stats real quick, he'll be a good third down back potentially for us. So just another running back in this crowded running back depth chart we have here for the Redskins. And I have to change his number because 21 is not going to be good with Sean Taylor, obviously. So we'll change it to 27, I guess. So really quickly, I just wanted to highlight some of the superstar abilities we have on this team. We have 3 of them with Landon Collins, Trent Williams, and Ryan Kerrigan. And looking at Landon Collins' ability here, we have Enforcer, which makes defenders with this ability not allow broken tackles when hit sticking ball carriers, regardless of the running back's size or power. So definitely a good trait, and as you can see, we'll be able to unlock Unfakeable once he reaches a 90 overall. Looking at Ryan Kerrigan's superstar ability here, we have Reach Elite, which makes defenders with this ability can reach out of engaged blocks to tackle or sack nearby ball carriers, so that'll be very helpful when we're pass rushing with him. And also, once he reaches a 90 overall, he'll unlock Under Pressure, which is very good. And lastly, we'll look at Trent Williams' ability, which is Secure Protector, and this makes blockers with this ability reduce a pass rusher's chance of using a quick block shed move. So he'll definitely be a rock there on the left side. But anyways, those are the superstar abilities on this team, and like I said, Dwayne Haskins has the potential to unlock superstar abilities. So looking at our regular season schedule real quick, we'll be starting off week 1 in Philadelphia against the Eagles, so that should be an interesting in-division matchup. Then we have the Cowboys, we have the Bears, which will be a tough matchup, play the Giants, and then we play the Patriots. Week 5 will be definitely a hard matchup. Play the Dolphins, 49ers, then the Vikings week 8, and week 9 we play the Bills, have our bye week, week 10, then we play Jets, Lions, Panthers, Packers, and then we leave the rest of the year off with Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys, so all in-division matchups to end the year. So yeah, we'll see how the season goes. I don't know if I'll be playing every single game in it. I might sim some games if we're like having a really bad record at the end of the year, or if we're playing like a bad team, I just might sim it. So I decided to play some preseason games here with the Redskins, as we did play 3 preseason games. I just wanted to test out Dwayne Haskins and some other players and showcase them in this video real quick. So you'll be seeing some Dwayne Haskins highlights here. But overall, it wasn't that great of a showing. He showed some flashes here and there, but mainly you can see some of his inaccuracy problems, as they were pretty prevalent in every single game I played. I played 3 games, so it was kind of disappointing to see, especially with the wide open passes with no pressure. He overthrew a lot of passes, but mainly our own line allowed a lot of pressure, and that's why it was a lot of overthrows. But as you can see here, he did have some great throws here and there, and dotted the defense up. Unfortunately, we don't have all of our starters out there, so that's why we didn't have many highlights. But with the second stringers, he did all right. But unfortunately here, you can see that Terry McLaurin broke his ribs on this nice catch. It was a nice throw by Haskins and nice catch by McLaurin, but broke his ribs, and he'll be out, as this was our second preseason game. So he'll be out most likely for the start of the regular season. So that kind of sucks. But fortunately, though, that was our only injury of the preseason. Alrighty, so we are in preseason week 4. And it is time to trim our roster down to 53 players. So we're going to have to cut 18 players, as you can see here on the main screen. And obviously some of this will be easy, as we have tons of like really low overalls and stuff. But I'll show you like the main big cuts and stuff, so I don't have to show all these small little cuts. Alrighty, so we trimmed our roster down to 54. We just need to cut one more person left, and that one person will be J.U. Chesson, unfortunately. So if you're a J.U. Chesson fan, I'm sorry, but he is gone, and that is all the cuts we needed to do. So we didn't have to release anyone significant. It was just a bunch of like low 60s, moves mainly a lot of people to the practice squad and stuff. So there wasn't any big name cuts or anything. And before we end this video, I just quickly want to show you some upgrades on some players we have here. I'm not going to show you all of them, as there's a lot of upgrades, but I'm just going to do most of the main players and stuff. So starting off with Landon Collins, we're going to upgrade his run support. Actually, we're going to upgrade his zone ability, and he's now an 84 overall. And he only gets one upgrade, but it's +2 zones, so I'll always take that. Next, we have Deron Payne here, and we're going to upgrade his power rushing ability, since he's already a good run stuffer. He didn't go up in overall, but he did get some upgrades: 1+ awareness, 1+ hit power, +2 power move, and 1+ tackle. Next up, we have Jonathan Allen here, and we're going to upgrade his run support so he fits in with our scheme. He goes up to an 83 overall, gets a few upgrades: +2 block shed, +2 hit power, +1 power, +1 pursuit, and +1 tackle. So pretty good upgrades for him there. Next up, we have DERRIUS, GUICE, and we're obviously going to upgrade his power back ability since it fits with our scheme. And he got 4 upgrades here: 1+ trucking, 1+ carrying, 1+ ball carrying, 1+ awareness, so nothing significant there. Next up, we have MONTEZ Sweat here, so we're going to upgrade his speed rushing ability here. Hopefully get some nice upgrades. And he gets +2 zone, +1 man, interesting, and +1 finesse and +2 awareness, so he's now a 74 overall. And the last upgrade I'm going to show real quick is Dwayne Haskins, and he's a 72 overall right now. Didn't have the best preseason showing. He had some flashes, but a lot of inaccuracy. So we're going to upgrade his strong arm to fit better in with our scheme. So hopefully he goes up. He doesn't go up in overall, still at a 72 overall, and only gets 1+ throw accuracy mid and 1+ throw accuracy deep. So at least he got an accuracy, but not a big upgrade at all. And if you're interested in the progress, he is 118 out of 500 snaps to unlock his development. So we still got a ways to go with him on unlocking his development trait. Alrighty, so we are in week 1 now officially, and this is where I will end the video. So thank you guys so much if you watched this far. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully I can get back into the swing of things on YouTube and start uploading constantly and stuff. So hopefully this series I can do for a really long time. But yeah, thank you guys. Leave some feedback if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.